Hi everyone, welcome back to the FAR classes of USCPA. Yes, this is in continuation of the previous class of key term, and here I'll be walking you through in detail about the key terms like supplementary information, required supplementary information, condensed financial information, defined benefit plan, endowment plan, and encumbrance, right? So these are a couple of topics we'll be covering in this particular video in detail. So let's dive into to understand all these key terms.
Then third thing is supplementary information. So if you see, we are still in the notes to accounts. Maybe I'll quickly show you. So this is all policies thing. Now coming to the disclosure part in the notes to account. Here, if you see in the revenue, they have disclosed how much revenue they have earned from GMNA, North America, and how much they have earned from GM International, other than North America, how much they have earned from corporate, what is their total automotive revenue. Same is for the financial services, and then consolidated, right? So this kind of disclosure are being comes under the notes to accounts. If you see the another one, marketable security. In marketable security, how much you have considered in cash and cash equivalent, how much is debt security, how much is restricted cash, right? These kind of disclosures are called notes to accounts. Make sense? Gurmehar, Santrupti.
Yes, sir. So aging analysis and all is also included in that, right?
Yeah, to the extent required by the standard.
Okay.
For calculation of provision for doubtful debt, if your policy is using the aging as a base for the calculation of provision for doubtful debt.
Okay.
So it depends on your accounting policy, and accordingly you need to give the disclosure. Right? I'll send you all this, please go through this. This will help you in correlating the entire FAR with what practically you need to do in your life. Other than this is supplementary information. Supplementary information is the information presented outside the basic financial statement. What is the basic financial statement? 6th statement which we have discussed. What is the basic financial statement or main financial statement?
Basically, financial position, that is balance sheet, then they have income statement, cash flow statement, equity statement, comprehensive income, and notes to accounts.
Yes, absolutely right. So the supplementary information is the information presented outside the basic financial information, not inside, right? So supplementary information not required by GAAP. It's not required by GAAP. So you don't need to follow GAAP for the supplementary information. It's provided on a voluntarily basis by the management. It may be required by other regulatory agencies. Sometimes, SEC required certain additional information in addition to basic financial statement, or for non-issuer, it's on management discretionary, what they want to present to the user of the financial statement. It's not mandatory for them. But if SEC required, then it is mandatory by SEC law, not by the accounting standard. Make sense? Yes? No?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right? Then another category is required supplementary information. So this required supplementary information is required by any law. So it may be tax law, it may be SEC requirement, it may be banking norms, banking law requirement, insurance law requirement, broker or dealers related law requirement, right? So within the Government Annual Comprehensive Financial Report, ACFR, the financial section must include. So when you are doing governmental accounting or governmental auditing, then supplementary information, there are certain supplementary information are mandatory. In addition to the basic financial statement required by the supplementary information other than the management discussion and analysis. Right? It is presented immediately following the notes to account. So this required supplementary information where you need to present in the financial statement after the notes to account. right? First is your income statement, second is balance sheet, third is other comprehensive, fourth is equity statement, fifth is cash flow statement, sixth is notes to account, and after the notes to accounts, you need to present required supplementary information in case of governmental accounting or governmental auditing, right? Or maybe required by any other law, which which the company you are working has to follow. So there may be, let's say, if you are working in oil and gas industry, so there might be certain disclosure requirement as a required supplementary information by oil and gas law or something like that, like maybe some environmental law require those information, right? So then you need to present those information immediate after the notes to accounts. Make sense?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
सर एक वो भी तो था ना नोट्स टू अकाउंट्स के बाद सर वो एम्फोसिस ऑफ मैटर पैराग्राफ, तो सर वो ये इसी में ही आएगा क्या? जैसे
Emphasis of matter of paragraph is part of auditor report or review report.
ओके ओके अकाउंटिंग में
So I'll show you that also. Oh boy, you got confused.
हाँ सर वही थोड़ा
1 second. If you see here in the financial statement, this financial statement supplementary information. So this is their audit report. Report of independent registered public accounting firm. So basis of opinion, definition and limitation of internal controls. So this is on ICFR. So here you will see that was for ICFR report. This is for financial statement. So first is opinion paragraph, then basis of opinion, then critical matter. In the critical matter, they have considered product warranty and recall campaign. This was my area when I was auditing. So this is all drafted by myself. And how we have addressed this matter, then description of the matter, same way like this valuation for leasing. So these are some critical area. And then after this, if there is any other matter, that need to be disclosed here, Kashish, in audit report, you are saying, not in the financial statement. So don't mix audit and FAR, even though it's interrelated or interconnected.
sure वो तब ध्यान रहेगा सर.
So now, like it is presented immediately following the notes to account, right? So in short, we call RSI, required supplementary information. It's an essential part of the financial reporting and should be presented with, but not in the basic financial statement. It should be presented with basics financial statement, but not in basic financial statement. So keep in mind, whenever you are providing required financial information, it should go along with the financial statement, because the basis of the information which is coming in RSI is coming from the base financial statement. But mind it, it is not part of the main financial statement. Make sense? Understood the difference?
Yes, sir.
Yes sir.
Okay, so it may include budgetary comparison schedule, information about the modified approach for reporting of infrastructure assets, employee benefits also, right? Next topic is condensed financial information. Have you heard about this term before? Condensed financial statement?
No sir.
Any of you have done limited review or quarterly accounting? Have you seen 10Q? Any of you, by any chance? Gurmehar, Santrupti, Ulak, Ananya. Have you seen 10Q?
Thank you, sir. मतलब I've done flux analysis, bits and pieces में कुछ काम किया उनके लिए, but not in full-fledged mode.
Understood. Anyone else have any experience working on quarterly accounting or quarterly review? Vineet, Ayush?
No, sir.
No, sir, not at all.
Prashant, Pulak, Ananya, you guys are here?
Yes, sir. I've worked on 10Q.
So what is 10Q is all about? What all information you have seen in 10Q?
So basically, as far as I remember, like the format was almost same as 10K, just that it was having some less details than the 10K. Yeah, and that only. Actually, I used to perform this when I was in US region. Now I'm in Canada, so they don't have 10K and 10Q there.
I'm also trying to find if I have something readily available. Okay, so maybe what we can do quickly here. Here you can do 10Q. I can show you really quick. So if you see here, choose list quarterly filing. Let's say 2022. So this is 10Q.
10Q तब भी यूज करते हैं while performing scoping for SOX engagements, क्योंकि फर्स्ट क्वार्टर का डेटा लेना होता है जब हम स्कोपिंग एक्चुअली कर रहे होते हैं, प्लस लास्ट ईयर डेटा.
Yeah. So 1 second, I'll have downloaded it. Yeah. 10Q. For which quarter we have downloaded? Q3 or yeah, I think GM10Q. Q3. Right. So is it visible to everyone? Is it visible to everyone, or shall I increase some size or something?
No, it's visible.
1 second. There you go. So it's bigger the better. So this is how like 10Q looks like, right? Here also you see the condensed consolidated statement. So what we need to give is a condensed financial statement, not the complete financial statement. So quarterly accounting or quarterly review we do for the condensed financial information. They are not as big as complete financial statement, but it is a summary of the financial statement. If you see, this is their income statement, comprehensive statement, balance sheet, right? And then cash flow statement, and then this is like equity statement, and then notes to accounts. But if you see, very crisp and small notes to accounts.
Ideally, these are unaudited, right?
Yes. I'm coming to that, but that goes in audit section. As of now, we are looking at from the accounting standpoint of view, because we need to, as an accountant, we need to prepare it, right? If you see, the information are very much limited than the information provided in complete financial statement. So this is called condensed financial statement. I'll send you this also to you. So condensed financial statement, neither the FASB nor the GASB has provided a rigorous definition of the condensed financial information. However, SEC, Security Exchange Commission, has issued regulation SX that indicate condensed statement should follow the standard form of financial statement with the specified exception. So the format which you are seeing over here is 10Q, is being issued by whom?
SEC.
SEC, not by FASB, not by GASB, right? Because generally the quarterly reviews are being done for the listed company, right? For non-listed company or non-issuer, it's not at all mandatory. But when they need to do it, they will follow the same rule issued by the SEC. And these are very relaxed form of financial information compared to the detailed information required in 10K or the annual financial statement, right? If you see the entire 10Q, if you see this entire 10Q, it has only 52 pages, right? Whereas this is 10K in front of you. If you go to the table here, if you see, it is 98 pages. Oh, more than that, 105 pages. So almost double, right? So condensed financial information have very limited information, and that's also very true, which you said, Gurmeher. It's unaudited. It's not required to be audited. Make sense? What is condensed financial information?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, next concept is materiality. It's being majorly used in audit, but for you as an accountant, materiality concept is also required. What is material to the overall financial statement? For that, your focus would be high. And what is not material to the financial statement, probably you can have some relaxed mindset, right? So that is the reason I thought, you should be aware of materiality. Materiality, or you can say material information, is those information, if omitting it or misstating it, it could influence the decision that the user make on the basis of financial statement for a specific reporting entity. It has always been entity specific aspect of the relevant based on nature or magnitude or both of the item to which the information relates in context of individual entity financial reporting. Whenever you are calculating the materiality, it will be based on the respective entity financial statement. For example, let's say we are discussing GM has operation in 83 countries, right? Which include India, Bangladesh, let's say China, Taiwan, Australia, New Zealand, Russia, Hong Kong. For each entity, the people are preparing their financial statement, and they will be preparing the financial statement based on the materiality of that country's financial statement, right? But when you do a consolidated financial statement, then you will be considering the materiality at a consolidated level. Make sense? Yes, no? Why materiality concept understanding is important? Otherwise, you should be investing a lot of time and energy, the things which not matter to the user of financial statement. So as an accountant also, we need to keep the materiality concept in mind when preparing the financial statement, right? Next is regulation, SX regulation. Regulation SX is an SEC regulation that govern the form, content, and the requirement of financial statement that must be included in the registration statement and the annual reports, which is called 10K, 10Q with the SEC. Next is defined benefit plan. Defined benefit plan are usually pension plan, but could include other post-retirement plan. A defined benefit plan, pension plan, or you can say define the amount of pension benefit to be provided to the employees after the retirement, usually as a function of one or more factor that include age, year of service, and the compensation of the individual, right? Accounting is generally difficult. We use like actuarial also most of the time when you are calculating the defined benefit plans, right? So accounting is difficult because annual expense is based on future estimated cash outflow, right? Here you require specialists. So specialists are most of the time we use actuarials for calculation of defined benefit, right? So, but as an accountant or as an auditor, what is being our responsibility to ensure the assumption which actuarial is taking is appropriate and the base information which actuarial is taking is correct or not, right? The employer bears the investment risk and must provide the sufficient fund to meet the defined benefit obligation in future. Next is defined contribution plan. So benefit plan where employer take the responsibility. Contribution plan where employer make an equal investment and submit to the insurance company or third parties, right? Contribution mean when you are giving contribution, and other than that you have no responsibility. Defined benefit plan is it's your responsibility in future to pay them pension. In a contribution plan, you will be submitting your contribution to the insurance company or social security company or maybe any third party vendor, and it's being their responsibility to take care of the future pension of employee. So investment risk is not yours in the contribution, right? So a defined contribution plan can be a pension, post-retirement or health or welfare plan. A defined contribution plan is a plan that provide an individual account for each participant and provide the benefit that are based on all of the following. First is amount contributed to the participant account by employer and employee both, investment experience, any forfeiture allocated, or minus any administrative expense charged by the plan. So a defined contribution plan specify the amount contributed to the plan and does not specify the amount of benefit to be received by the retired employee. Whereas in the defined benefit plan, you need to ensure and provide the information to the employee what amount you'll be receiving in future, right? Now, a couple of terms which is being coming out of governmental accounting. First is encumbrance. Encumbrance is basically the open commitment for which you need to pay in future, right? Encumbrance are commitment related to unperformed executory contract. That means you have already signed up any agreement, but it's not yet performed. That is open purchase order generally for goods or services. They are recorded as journal and other governmental funds for budgetary control purpose to prevent the overspending and demonstrate the compliance with the legal requirement. And encumbrance does not present either expenditure or liability. It represents estimated amount of expenditure which will result if unperformed the contract. That means if you have not performed the contract, then what will be your future liability? That is called encumbrance. It is being used for budgetary purpose in government bodies. So encumbrance for budgetary control is total encumbrance apportion amount is equal to apportion minus expenditure actually incurred. Another two terms which is being again used in governmental accounting is endowment fund. So endowment fund is basically established to fund the cash and security or the assets to provide income for maintenance of not-for-profit organization. So like not-for-profit organization, do you know what is not-for-profit organization? Can you give some example?
Working in the welfare of the public, so basically not for earning any profit.
Can you give some
There are
example?
there's a lot of like NGOs working for like providing education to the deprived section or running blind schools. These are all examples of non-for-profit organizations.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have a motive of earning profit.
Any example you
But
would
rather
like to
than,
share?
but rather than focusing on, public welfare and public interest.
Yeah. Would you like to share any example? Or any of you associated with any NGO by any chance doing something good for others? Fortunately not. Fortunately not yet. Yes, Santrupti, you're saying something?
Like I'm in the Ripples of Change NGO organization, where we'll teach the like about hygiene to the children of slum area.
Yeah, so each one of us must be associated with some NGO. We should try helping the underprivileged people, society, right? So that should be, like part of our routine activity. I personally believe so.
सर एनजीओ के साथ तो नहीं, बट सर जैसे एवरी बर्थडे आई यूज्ड टू गो टू आंगनवाड़ी एंड and give some gifts and other stuff, food
Got
items.
it. Yeah, so if you see, like NGO also have certain employees, right? They need something for their own sustainability, right? So have you heard about Melinda Gates NGO that is being formed by Bill Gates and Melinda?
Yes, sir. उसका पढ़ा था sir.
Yeah. So have you heard about like Tata Trust? Have you heard about Tata Trust?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So what this big organization they do? They put certain amount into the trust, and that is their corpus capital, and that they invest in the secured investment like fixed deposit, PPF, or governmental bonds, governmental security, and from their interest, the running and maintenance expense of the trust is being managed. That is called enterprise fund.
So that is their part of their corporate social responsibility,
No,
or they do
Are
it
two
for
things.
their like investment purposes.
Are two things. No, one is like trust. Trust get the money from like various areas. One is the you can say initial trusted. They make a capital investment, right? Formation of the trust, and that money they put into like 3-4 categories. One is like in the corpus, that is called capital, right, which generally kept intact, and the interest and you can say dividend of that money which they invest into, you can say government bonds, government fundings, or maybe fixed deposit, or maybe certain you can say PPF or any such things where they get the regular interest and dividend income for the running and maintenance. That called enterprise fund. Second category of the amount they invest or they receive is called capital contribution, where they need to make a investment for purchasing of fixed asset. Let's say during the COVID, any NGO have been started and they need, let's say, 100 bed for the COVID patient. For that, they will specifically request the trustee as well as to the donors as well as to the companies to donate certain fund for this specific cause, right? If you have seen like when this COVID situation came up, this PM Modi trust has been created, and in which like people have donated specifically for the COVID, right? So that kind of donation will go into the specific usage. So we'll learn all those things when it come to chapter number 5, which is governmental accounting and not-for-profit accounting. But just a high level, these are new terms which you are not exposed to. I'm just sharing so that when we go into those respective topics, you have some idea. Yes, this is what it is. Right? And then like CSR fund is another category. CSR fund would be like specified in nature or can be general in nature. So CSR, like for example, if your company is giving any donation as a CSR to any NGO, so is that CSR fund the company has given is for specific purpose, then the trust can utilize that amount only for that specific purpose. Or is it given for the general purpose, then it can be utilized based on the trustee discretion, right? But here we are discussing about enterprise fund, which is like corpus, which the trust need to invest into the secured fund so that from their interest they can run the show. Right? So these are all our terms, or you can say topics which more frequently you will see in FAR as well as in audit section. So I thought first let's understand these key terms and definition so that it will be easy for you to digest the main topic. Right? Any doubts so far?
No, sir.
Looks good.
Yes, sir.
So these first two class were like foundational class. So from tomorrow we'll be starting main course. So we are done with the soup and starter. So in the next class we will start the main course.
So
So
can we
these
get
are
the
also
note?
part of audit, I guess, no?
Say that
The
again.
entire thing, which we have studied today, this was part of audit classes as well. We
Yeah,
started
so
First
audit
two
in this
slides.
as well.
some topics, yes, some topics are common.
First 2 to 3 slides were from the audit itself.
Say that again.
No, the first 2 or 3 slides were from the audit itself.
Yes,
All
yes. In audit, we have more than this.
So for tomorrow class, can we get the notes before? So that we can print it out?
Yeah. I'll send in the group.
Okay.
सर वो last class के भी भेज देना उसी में.
Yes. I'll send both in the group.